What's good, YouTube? It's Justice. I used to be paid, and today I'm back with another video. Now, this is going to be a quicker video, I promise this time. Remember to leave a like, leave a subscribe. If you watch my content, you got to subscribe. That's just the rules. But I want to talk about this Antagonist tour that has been announced by Playboi Carti and I guess the Opium Collective, and how this recent post from them has kind of triggered my spidey senses, and I think that there may be something going on that we just don't know about yet. Maybe about like a couple days ago, maybe even a week now at this point, I don't know, I'm kind of losing my track of time, but it was announced that there was going to be an Antagonist tour with all of Opium, that being Playboi Carti, Destroy Lonely, Ken Carson, and Homicide Gang, and it was on a billboard, so everyone was super excited. Oh my gosh, new tour, these guys are all going to be performing, and my initial thought was that this concert or this tour was specifically for the other members of Opium to get their rub, to get them into a bigger audience, because obviously, you know, you can have a Ken Carson tour, you can have a Destroy Lonely tour, you can have a Homicide Gang tour, you can even pair two of the three of those together or all three of those together, but it's always going to be a much bigger tour and a much bigger concert if Carti's there. Like, that's just the truth. So in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, this is a tour for the other guys in Opium to get more rub. This is Carti kind of putting them on, so he's gonna, you know, be the headliner of the show and get people to buy more tickets. But Ken Carson's about to drop an album, Homicide Gang just dropped an album, and Destroy Lonely just dropped an album. So really, this tour is for them to really, you know, perform their new music. That's what I'm thinking in the first place, right? But then I see Carti post the official tour dates and tour venues, and it kind of got me thinking, oh, maybe this is something else, because when you look at the official tour venues, these are very big venues. These are NBA-sized arenas. These are all arenas from like a capacity of like 17,000 to 20,000. So NBA-sized arenas. And if you look at the arena capacities for the Narcissist tour, which was in 2021, which was the tour where Carti first performed Whole Lotta Red pretty much all across America, these were not very big venues. These were venues that were on the smaller side, maybe held like a couple thousand people, maybe like 4,000 to 8,000. Of course, you get like 20,000 in the bigger cities, like in Atlanta where Carti's from. But even in LA, they were performing in the Forum. They weren't performing in the Crypto. But now when you check the official tour venues for the Antagonist tour, you look and see all of these are huge venues. Like, just for comparison, where I'm from in Arizona, Carti for the Narcissist tour performed at the Mesa Amphitheater. Now, no disrespect to anybody that works at the Mesa Amphitheater, or if you own the Mesa Amphitheater and you see this, no disrespect, but that venue's kind of buns. Like, it's kind of trash, not gonna lie. Like, it's outside, which is crazy in Arizona. To perform outside in Arizona at any time of the year is crazy, but it's outside and it's in like this little pit, and it only has capacity for about 5,000 people if you're lucky, if everyone kind of gets close together and squishes into each other. It only has about 5,000 people, right? Now, fast forward to 2023, they're performing in the Diamond Desert, or the Desert Diamond Arena, I think is what it's called, and it's out there in Glendale. They've changed the name of that place like 40 times since I was a kid, so forgive me if I'm wrong about the name of it, but I think it's the Desert Diamond Arena, and it holds 20,000 people, and that's the same venue that Drake is going to be performing in when Drake comes out here on his tour. So just think about that. Carti went from performing in a venue that holds about 5,000 people to a venue that holds about 20,000. Now, of course, Carti could have been in a bigger venue than 5,000 people 2 years ago, but just that's such a drastic change. Like, why? Why is there this drastic change from performing in such a small venue to now one of the bigger venues in Arizona? What really happened here? What's going on? And it's not just Arizona. Carti's going from performing in the Forum in LA to the Crypto Arena. Now, the Forum still holds about 17,000 people, which is a lot because, I mean, you know, they're in LA. It's a huge city. But to go from that to the Crypto Arena, which holds 20,000 and is just, in general, a bigger and, you know, more modern, nicer arena, it says a lot about this tour. There's something here. In New York, Carti didn't even perform in his own venue. Carti performed at Rolling Loud as a part of his tour for New York, but now Carti's performing at Madison Square Garden, which I shouldn't have to explain to you why that's different. For Houston, Carti was performing at the NRG Arena is what I believe it was on the Narcissist tour, which is a decent arena, holds like 8,000 people. Houston's a pretty big city, but now Carti's performing at the Toyota Center, which is where the Rockets play, which holds, again, about 20,000 people. So there's a drastic difference in a majority of these venues for what's going on this Antagonist tour, which tells me that this tour isn't just for the other guys in Opium. We're getting some new music. We kind of have to, because there's no way Carti's going to go from these smaller venues, these decent-sized venues, but considerably smaller than the average venue for the Antagonist tour, to these new venues with nothing new. Like, yes, We all like Ken Carson. We like Destroy Lonely. We like Homicide Gang. But those guys aren't big stars yet. Sure, they can add something more to the tour than what they could have in 2021. But they're not going to be adding 8,000 more people. If Ken Carson is performing by himself or Destroy Lonely and Ken Carson are on tour together, they're going to perform in venues that hold like maybe 1,000, couple thousand people. They're not going to be in these huge venues. And Carti wasn't in these huge venues 2 years ago. And Carti, since then, has not had any hit songs. He hasn't had any crazy features. He hasn't had a new album. He hasn't even released an official song besides like the Weeknd song. So what is going on here? There has to be something new. There has to be some sort of new selling point in order to be in these bigger arenas. It can't just be, oh, Carti's just going to perform Whole Lotta Red again. Maybe he can. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm overthinking it. But this tells me that there's something new. Now, maybe it's not a Playboy Carti album. Maybe it's just a collective, an Opium collective album for, you know, the tour's sake, and it's called Antagonist, and it's just all the Opium artists together on an album. That would be really cool. It would probably do decent numbers. We all would love to see Carti work with Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, and Homicide Gang on actual tracks and like be featured. Maybe that's what it is. But also, again, how big would an Opium collective album really be? You know, of course it would sell well, but because Carti's on there, but I don't know if it would be like as big as a Carti album itself. I don't think so. I don't think that's a stretch for me to say that it wouldn't be as big as a solo Carti album, or not a solo Carti album, but just a new Carti album. So maybe it's an album collective or a collective label album. I could see that, but there's a chance that there is a Carti album before this project, because there's no reason for these venues to be this much bigger if he's going to go and perform the exact same stuff. There has to be something new, and maybe it's just a collective album. Maybe, you know, the guys in Opium are getting pretty big. Destroy Lonely just sold like 30K. Ken Carson will probably sell around the same numbers, and then Homicide Gang's kind of following behind them. So maybe it is just a collective album, but there's definitely going to be some sort of new music, something new from Carti. Carti's either going to be on a collective album or we're getting a solo Carti album. We just have to. I don't really know if I believe in a solo Carti album, but there has to be something new here, because these jumps in venues is insane. Like, it just does not make any sense for there to be this big of a jump in venue from a venue that holds 4,000 people in Arizona to a venue that holds 20,000 if there's nothing new. Why would I want to buy a ticket? Like, obviously I'm going to want to buy a ticket if I'm a Carti fan, but why would more people want to be buying tickets? Why would they be so desperate to buy more tickets if you're just going to perform the same stuff? So I think there's something new here. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be completely off. This could just be a dumb video that I'm making and I don't make any sense, but my spidey senses are tingling. There's something new coming. It has to be, because there's no way you increase from going from performing at Rolling Loud in New York to now you're performing at Madison Square Garden, NRG Arena that holds 8,000 people, to now the Toyota Center that holds 20,000. There's something going on here, and I think we're getting something new, but maybe I'm wrong. This is just my little video that I wanted to get out here because I saw the news and I thought it was pretty interesting. So leave a like, leave a subscribe. Tell me I'm an idiot if I end up being wrong. Tell me I'm a genius for pointing this out if in 2 weeks we get an announcement about new Carti music before the tour. The tour starts in like late September, so we have about 2 months before that tour happens. Maybe he can do all his promo before then. I think Carti would kind of want more time to really, you know, bait the fans a little bit more, but who knows? We'll see. We never really know what Carti's going to do, but I think there's a real possibility that we end up getting something new before this tour happens. I don't have any insider information. I'm just some college kid in his parents' room, in his parents' house, so I don't have any sources. But yeah, if you made it this far, I appreciate you for watching it. Please leave a like, leave a subscribe. It helps me out a ton. I'm trying to pay out this college tuition. Have a good day. Peace.